The event dungeon is live. We're going to start farming pinpoint gear. We've got 3 different teams for stages 20 to 30. Some of them are free to play, some of them are pay to win, but they're all going to be a lot of fun. What's going on, everybody? Blazing here. Welcome back to the channel, and let's talk about the event dungeon. Now, we've got 3 different teams ranging from stage 20 to 30. 2 of them are going to be for stage 30. One is going to be for stage 20. The stage 21, I feel pretty comfortable to say that it's a free-to-play team. The other 2, meh, but actually, I'm going to say that one of them is definitely not, right? So let's go ahead. Let's start off with the first team here, which is an HP burn explosion team, right? We got HP burn and poisons. There are some substitutions you could put for this team. I would say that the main substitutions you could have is if you don't have Calvalax, then you can put 2 Taurus, right? With the A3 on Taurus, as long as you have them over 300 speed with enough accuracy, which the accuracy on this boss needed is 500. And then you need to make sure that they're over 300 speed. So, and they have to go ahead of everybody else. So it is a little more challenging to make this team, but it is a viable option for us. So let's go ahead, we'll run this team. Again, remember, 500 accuracy and 300 speed. Everything is turn meter, or everything's speed tuned. But you can see here, once the ads are down with this composition, there really is no problem with the boss. Once the 2 Calvalax die, it's not a problem. We did not build any resistance because the stat requirements for this are insane. Right? They are tremendously high. We would have to be building them with close to like 500 or no, I'm sorry, 600 accuracy resistance, I believe it is, because I think the boss has like 5 something. So there's no point in building any sort of resistance. We're always going to be able to take that decreased defense no matter what. But you can see here the team's going to run at about a minute, maybe a little less, but it's definitely fun, right? It's a good composition. You could see here that we brought in the Theodore, right? He's going to explode, give us some HP burns, or not HP burns, but poisons. He's gonna detonate them. Walking Tomb Drain, keeping us actually pretty healthy, right? Giving us that HP burn. The MVP on this team, though, is actually stock, right? Let's run it one more time just so you guys can see. Another video is probably going to be a little bit longer than my usual ones, but just to show you guys. But once the ads go down, again, it's done. It's over with. We have no problems here, right? The Calvalaxes could literally die. We don't care. We just need them for their accuracy. That's it. We just actually, not even their accuracy. Sorry. We need them for their poisons. So there is some flexibility with these builds, but you're going to notice the one thing here that they're all wearing regen sets. And the main reason for that is because we are using a lot of buffs with Stork, right? He brings in 2 buffs, and then we also have the increased speed. So we need the regen sets to keep ourselves healthy. We're not building any sort of resistance, again, because it is a stat-heavy dungeon. So trying to build anything else other than what we're currently doing is going to be pretty difficult, right? So we're always going to take that decreased defense. We just have to kind of deal with it. So what do? We tank right through it, right? Again, this one took a little bit longer than the last one, but it's definitely going to be, again, a safe, consistent run. And that's kind of what we care about, right? So here we go. 1 minute, 20 seconds, maybe. There we go. Okay. 1 minute, 18 seconds. So this is not my main farming team though, right? This is a safe, consistent run. If you have it, you can run it. Stage 30, not a problem. Again, key components here are Drang, Stork, and Theodore. Calvalax can be replaced with somebody else. But now, let me show you guys my main team, my pay-to-win team, right? And I'm sure you guys are all going to notice, again, it's got one thing more than anything else, which is the triple Gnuts, right? We put decreased defense on everybody. We take the first hit, HP burnout on everybody. 1, 2, 3 from Gnut. Second Gnut goes. Third Gnut goes, and it's over and done with. Now this team is actually way more consistent, way more safe, because even if Deacon misses the decreased defense, we still have a successful run, right? And the reason for that is because sorry guys, the Gnuts are basically doing a 10% enemy max HP every single time, right? So we don't have that issue. Plus we have the HP burn. The main reason that Deacon is in here is to give us that turn meter boost, right? Bring our turn meter up, bring the opponent's turn meter down, and now you can't really decrease the turn meter of the boss herself. So you really have to, play on these guys right here. But if Kaja takes a turn, it's all over. The boss goes, and then the run is failed, right? Unfortunately, the run will fail. Now, the third and final team is actually going to be one that a lot of you can build as long as you've been playing for, I want to say, about 6+ months, maybe 7. I think you should have most of these champions or a combination of these champions. All right, so stage 20 is actually pretty easy, right? We got Lady Mikage, who was a fusion. We've got Ninja, who was a champion that was given to us for free within the last, I want to say, 3 months. Arbiter, who is somebody we can try to get to as quickly as possible. Do you really need Arbiter? She does help because of the increased attack, right, and the turn meter boost if you were going to use a different ally attack champion. But honestly, if you have any other turn meter booster, as long as you bring in a increased attack with the Lady Mikage, you'll be fine. And then you got Skullcrown and Sinesha. Obviously, Skullcrown has got to go before Sinesha to make sure that we have that done. We did put our Ninja in the lead to make sure that we get ourselves a decreased defense down if possible, right? So we'll go ahead, go in, and ideally it should happen the same way no matter what, right? The AI shouldn't really be messed up at all, but increase attack. There we go. Ally attack. Boom. Adds are down. Seneschal is the only one up, which doesn't really matter. Ninja goes. There we go. Counter attack. Even with counter attack there, we're perfectly fine. And come on, can we just get one of our nukers to go? There we go. 24 seconds. There we go. 25 seconds. Stage 20. Not a bad team. Honestly, the builds on Skullcrown and Sinesha may not be as OP as you might think, but you could use a replacement, right? As long as you take down most of the ads, you should be fine here. It's not like stage 30 where we have to worry about the blessings, right? We don't have to worry about temporal chains on here because if we did, temporal chains is actually going to kind of destroy us, right? We'll run it one more time here, but the more buffs we bring on stage 30, the worse it actually is for us. So here we go. That's it. One more time. We get Ninja. Ninja is just a god tier champion. Gonna be boss for almost every single dungeon, especially stage 20s. But here we go. And last hit. Come on. There we go. All right, so this one was a little bit longer, 28 seconds, but it got the job done, right? All right, let's start off with the ally attack team. Again, this is the stage 20, one of the more easier ones to do, but we only care about a couple of things here, right? Lady Mikage, we just want her going second. Now, honestly, you could even have her going first, but we just have her built really fast with accuracy. That's it. This is the Fire Knight build that I have for her. And on this account, it's not a crazy account, guys. We're not working with my main account for this team. I wanted to specifically use this account because it is a way lower tiered account, and the builds on this account will be way more achievable than on the main, right? As for booking situation, we do have a fully booked, but again, you don't really need her fully booked for this, right? Masteries wise, we took down War Master, right? We cared more for Fire Knight. So we took Methodical, Kill Streak, we did take Bring It Down, along with Single Out. We took Heart of Glory, Keen Strike, and Deadly Precision. We did go ahead and we took Master Hexer, along with Lore of Steel, Cycle of Magic, and we did take Rapid Response, along with Swarm Smiter, and also Charge Focus when pinpoint accuracy, right? Moving on to Ninja. Ninja's pretty much, I mean, again, it's not a crazy account. but we haven't built in an affinity breaker and a perception piece, and that's mostly because I use them for our Sand Devil team, right? So the build for him is actually 4.6k attack, 210 speed, 90% crit rate. I know it needs to be 100, but the gloves, I need to ascend him. 252 accuracy and 454 252 crit damage and 454 accuracy. I was about to flip those two around. As you can see here, I need to roll this to crit rate, and that's what's going to make it have 100%. Booking situation, we have him fully booked. Brimstone is what we did take for him. As for masteries, again, pretty much almost the same as Lady Mikage. Sorry, brain fart right there, guys. But we have War Master, we took Methodical, we took Bring It Down along with Wrath of the Slain, Life Drinker, Whirlwind of Death, we took Keen Strike and Heart of Glory along with Deadly Precision. This build is more built for Sand Devils than anything else. We took Spirit Haste, we took Master Hexer, Lore of Steel, Swarm Smiter, Charge Focus, and Pinpoint Accuracy. As for Arbiter on this account, not a crazy build, but 376 accuracy. This is what I mean. On the main account, we're 400 plus. This is a little more of an achievable build for a lot of us, right? Or for a lot of the community. So 376, and you honestly don't need her this fast. For stage 20, you could probably bring her down to, I would say, 290, as close to 300 as possible, right? And you could replace her with a D. As for the booking situation, we do have her fully booked. Again, you don't really need her. She's going to open up with the A3, and that's it, right? Masteries, we basically went straight down Reviver, Support, right? Timely Intervention, Spirit Haste, Lore of Steel, Evil Eye. Though we probably should take Cycle of Magic over Evil Eye, but it is what it is. Rapid Response along with Exalted in Death. We did take Steadfast, and we did take Retribution. We took a Cycle of Revenge along with a Delay of Death. We did take Shadow Heal along with Resurgent, and we did take Mighty Endurance along with Improved Parry and Defiant. The next two champions are Skullcrown and Senesha, both epic champions. And because they're used in a blender comp, the builds for them is really simple, really easy. We have our Skullcrown built in a lethal and cruel. The stats for her are 7.4k attack, 152 speed. She is empowered to a +2. She does have a 5-star blessing, so it is going to add up 100%. 330 crit damage. We don't care about resistance or accuracy, right? As for the booking situation, we do have her fully booked. We took Cruelty because she is the first one to hit. Now, if we had a 6-star, I'd probably switch her over to Crushing Rend, right? And then as for the masteries, we came down, we took Helm Smasher, Methodical, along with Bring It Down. We took Single Out with Life Drinker, along with Keen Strike, Heart of Glory, and Deadly Precision. Honestly, that's all you really need. You don't need the support or the defense tree, but and to be honest, you are going to need the Helm Smasher just to help take down those ads, right? Especially if your gear isn't as strong. But you could work without it, right? You could work without it. Retribution is what we also did take. Deterrence, we did come down and take Harvest Despair along with Delay of Death. We did take Wisdom of Battle. We took Improved Parry, and we took Defiant. And last but not least, we have our Senesha. Senesha, again, built for a blender comp, right? So she's got a lethal and crit damage set. Moving to her stats, we have her built with 4.5k attack, 121 speed, 100% crit rate, and 309 crit damage. Her attack is not as high as Skullcrown, but Skullcrown needs to have the better gear because she is going to be the one that gives the initial hit. We need her to bring the opponent down to less than 50% so that Senesha can do her job, right? Moving on to the booking situation, we do have her fully booked. Phantom Touch is what I did take, especially because we already have a Cruelty on her here, right? So we have this 5-star already on Skullcrown. Moving to the masteries. Basically, almost the same thing as Skull Crown. Helm Smasher, Methodical, Bring It Down, along with Wrath of the Slain, Life Drinker, along with Single Out, Heart of Glory, Keen Strike, and Deadly Precision. As for the defense tree, we took Deterrence along with Retribution. We took Delay of Death along with Resurgent, and Blastproof with Tough Skin. All right, so let's talk about the 3 Gnuts first. We'll go through that team, right? So we have the 3 Gnuts. One is built in a reflex and crit damage. One is built in a lethal and speed. And then the last one is built with an Affinity Breaker, crit rate, and a feral piece. Basically, 2 of them are built for Fire Knight. 1 is built for Chimera, right? The reflex one is built for Chimera because I want to try to get that A3 back as quickly as possible. So with him, we actually don't have him built with any accuracy whatsoever. We have him built with resistance, and we have him fast. So 283. Again, the dungeon, we're not going to really use any sort of accuracy on these champions, or we're not going to use the A1 or the A2. We're using the A3, so it doesn't matter if they have accuracy or not. So 283 speed with 104 crit damage, crit rate, and 223 crit damage. We got 5k defense. Not an insane build. He's just fast, right? Booking situation, we do have him fully booked. I do not have any relics on him. And as for the masteries are going to be the same for almost all of them, right? I may have changed 1 or 2 things, but nothing crazy. We took a Giant Slayer, we took Kill Streak along with Bring It Down. We did take Life Drinker along with Single Out. We took Heart of Glory, Keen Strike, and Deadly Precision. On the support tree, we took Pinpoint Accuracy. We took Charge Focus along with Swarm Smiter and Lore of Steel. We did take Cycle of Magic. Moving on to just the builds of the other 2. Again, this one is built with the Savage and Speed. So what we cared about here, and this is probably the lowest speed you can go, and you can't have like all of them at 262. Even with Deacon there, you do need to kind of stagger them, right? So if you have one at 262, you can have the next one at 270, and then the other one at 280. But 262 is probably about the lowest you can go if you're going to use this team. We have him built with almost 5k defense, 101% crit rate, 266 crit damage, and he's got 359 accuracy. Again, remember, this is for Fire Knight. We do have him fully booked. Relics are not existent on these guys. As for the one built with our Affinity Breaker, right? We're looking at 272. So remember how I said somewhere in the middle. 100% crit rate, 309 crit damage, 386 accuracy, along with 4.3k defense. So again, the builds are decent, not crazy, not next level, you know, empowered, whatever. Let's talk about my Salfurion. Now, Salfurion I have built for Chimera. So he is using a Impulse Regen and 1-piece Feral, right? We've got him built with 84k HP, 3.2k defense, 288 speed, and then I did build some resistance because of Chimera, because I use a decreased accuracy team. So we have that in there along with 429 accuracy. This boss requires us to have 500 accuracy, so do be mindful of that. I need to rebuild this guy and bring it closer to that, right? Although he didn't miss, but just in case. As for relics, we don't have anything. We do have him fully booked, right? Emergency heal is what we did take. He places a shield on us, so why not? As for masteries, we did come down and we took the support tree along with Master Hexer. We took Spirit Haste, Cycle of Magic. We did take Lore of Steel along with Swarm Smiter. We did take Arcane Celerity, Charge Focus, Pinpoint Accuracy. On the defense tree, we came down and we took Cycle of Revenge, Delay of Death. We did take Resurgent along with Blastproof. We did take Rejuvenation and Defiant. And last but not least for that team, we have our boy Deacon. Deacon was a really simple build, guys. We cared 2 things, speed and accuracy. So we wanted 300 speed. He needs to be the first one, right? So we want to make sure that we have enough speed and enough accuracy to land the decreased defense and reduce the turn meter of the other adds, right? So that's one of the big things that we cared for. Moving on to relics, we have nothing. Booking situation, we do have them fully booked, right? We really only care about the A2 and the A3. We have to open up with the A3 first, then moving on to the A2. As for masteries, you really don't need them, but this is what I have. I have War Master along with Methodical, Bring It Down along with Single Out. We have Keen Strike and Deadly Precision. On the support tree, we have Sniper along with Master Hexer, Evil Eye, Lore of Steel. We have Swarm Smiter, Arcane Celerity, Charge Focus, Exalted in Death, and Pinpoint Accuracy. And now we get to that HP burn team. Now we get to that really, really fun team, right? So the Cavalaxes, we'll run through those guys first because those guys really much have the same build. It's one thing and one thing only. We care about accuracy. Over 500, and that's it. We don't need books. We don't need relics, right? We care about the A3 here. We just want those poisons. We need a minimum of 7 poisons to be able to make this poison explosion team work. As for masteries, we have some, but you don't really need them, right? You can see this one has nothing and he's not booked. He does have Brimstone on here because it does help. It is a 5-star. It is what it is, right? Nothing crazy about them. Let's talk about my boy Theodore. Now, Theodore, I used to have in a regen set, and I would love to put him back in a regen set, but I just had to, again, the stats are just crazy for this boss. So we have him built with a 2-piece Perception, 2-piece Feral, 1-piece Stone Skin, and 2 pieces of Pinpoint. The build's kind of everywhere, but it just makes it so that we go fast. Ideally, I'd want to have him in a regen and immortal, if not regen and perception. But here we cared to make sure that he's tanky. I'd probably give up a little more of this defense to give him some more HP, but it doesn't look like he's dying on that team, right? 302 speed is what we need on him. 471 accuracy. It's a little low, but I got to try to build it up, right? It still works. As for relics, we don't really have any. Booking situation, we do have him fully booked. Brimstone is the blessing that we did take for him. And masteries is basically solo dungeon masteries. Came down, we took Oppressor, Sniper, Spirit Haste, along with Lore of Steel. We took Cycle of Magic, Swarm Smiter, Arcane Celerity, Charge Focus, and we did take Pinpoint Accuracy. As for the offense tree, we took Methodical, we took Wrath of the Slaying, along with Whirlwind of Death. We did take Keen Strike, along with Heart of Glory, and Deadly Precision. The masteries for the next 2 champions should be the same, right? Except for Walking Tomb, obviously. So I know I said that the builds were going to be in regen, and I thought that I had built them in regen, but apparently I did not. So regen isn't really needed. Probably only for Stork though, but we'll get to him in just a second. So for Walking Tomb Drain, we built him in a single speed set, 3-piece Stone Skin, right? Again, not needed. Honestly, it was stats over sets. Stats over sets and making him really fast, right? 305 speed is what we cared for. We have enough. We have a pretty solid defense, 100k HP. Ideally, you could give some of this up to gain a little more HP because we're always going to take that decreased defense. The resistance was not built on purpose, guys. It just happened. That's it. We didn't like pull a resist chest or anything like that. Accuracy, not needed because his HP burn is going to be guaranteed as long as he doesn't weak hit. As for relics, we have nothing. Booking situation, we do have them fully, we have everything booked except for the A3, right, which is the HP balance. Again, on a 4-turn cooldown, doesn't really make sense. Do you need it booked? Ideally, you want to try to get it to 100%, but if not, it's still fine. As long as you can land it on a couple of the ads at the start, you should be fine. Now, temporal chains is what the boss brings in. That's what you want to use to combat the boss, right? No, not really. It doesn't really do a lot for us because they don't put a lot of buffs up. It's only 1 buff that the boss puts up. 2 actually, because it brings increased attack and increased accuracy, but you can't manipulate the boss's turn meter. As for the masteries, you don't need them for Walking Tomb Drain, right? Not at all. Honestly, I would probably go Eagle Eye if you're going to use for anything else. No, I'm not even, what am I talking about? you don't really need accuracy, so forget that. Compound and take War Master. Kill Streak along with Methodical. Take Bring It Down along with Single Out, Heart of Glory, Keen Strike, and Deadly Precision. As for the support tree, take Master Hexer along with Lord of Steel. Take Cycle of Magic, Arcane Celerity with Swarm Spider, and Charge Focus along with Pinpoint Accuracy. And last but not least, we got our boy Stork. Now Stork, from the last time I used them, I did do a little bit of a revamp on him. I just built him a little more tankier than what I had him. So he does require the regen. You will see in the run, he does come down pretty quickly on HP. So it's definitely helpful to have him in the regen set. Ideally though, with him, you want to try to go as much HP as possible. 65k is good. He doesn't die, but the more the better. About 3.5k defense should be decent. He is at 291 speed, right? 516 accuracy is the next thing we cared about, and that's it. Relics, we have none. Booking situation, fully booked. I don't have a blessing on him because player sucks, right? They only wanted to give it to that one person out of the bracket, so yeah. As for masteries, pretty much the same thing as Theodore. We came down, we took Timely Intervention, Spirit Haste, along with Lord of Steel, Cycle of Magic, Arcane Celerity. We took Rapid Response with Exalted in Death, and Pinpoint Accuracy. On the defense tree, we came down, we took Exalted Death, we took Resurgent, Rejuvenation, Blast Proof, and Defiant. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the AI setup. We're gonna start off with the Stork team first. We open up with the A2 and then the A3, so we prioritize the Poison Explosion, right? And then exploding any heals that we have. So as for Walking Tombdrang, we open up with the A2, then the A3. Calvalax, we don't really care. Theodore, we open up with the A3 first, then we prioritize the A1. Ideally, you could shut this off, but it just speeds up the run a little bit, right? As for the next team, which is the triple Gnut team, Deacon opens up with the A3, then the A2, Sulfurion, A2, and then Gnuts, you guessed it, they're only doing their A3. That's it. Simple, nice and easy. So those are my teams, guys. That's everything I gotta work with. I'm gonna try to come up with some other comps. I do like for stage 20 though that we are using an ally attack team, which makes it a little easier for a lot of us out there, right? Stage 30 is going to have a huge gear curve. I don't know if it's going to be worth it for a lot of accounts. If you can get there though, and it's going to be 100% consistent, then do it. If not, farm the next best stage you have. If you have a team you want to share, in the description below, there's going to be a Discord link. Come in, show your team, share it, and then maybe we'll do another guide on one of those teams. I'm interested to see what's going on. I'm trying to do a little bit more of achievable teams, right? So this video had 3 different teams, which is way more than what I usually show in one video. But I figured since the dungeon is coming, it's going to be here tomorrow or today by the time you see this. It's might as well go out and get it done. That said, if you guys have some time, swing by on Sundays, 2 p.m. EST for the Knights of Teleria podcast, where we talk everything Raid Shadow Legends. Talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And as always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other, and I'll catch you guys next time.